Ordi. Okay. What is Ordi? It's ordinals. It's short for ordinals. Basically, it's a protocol that allows inscriptions to happen on top of Bitcoin. Okay. All the NFTs that are happening, right? It's due to ordinals. So that's why they're flying. People are saying Bitcoin is going up. Why would I not support a protocol that allows inscriptions to happen? Right? This is supposed to be bought. This token, this very first BRC20 token was supposed to be bought through decentralized manners like DeFi. There's DeFi that's on top of Bitcoin right now. But someone like Binance is like, you know what? We're just going to list it. So I don't know how they got it, but they bought a bunch, I guess, and listed it. And ever since that happened, Ordi has been flying 500% in 4 weeks. And I don't know if it's going to stop with Bitcoin's momentum, right? Everyone's looking at Bitcoin-related crypto to buy. And even at that 500% mark for the last 30 days and 1,100% for 60 days, it's still at a reasonable market cap of 834 million. So that means there's still plenty room to grow, okay? But that's what Ordi is, in case you guys are wondering. All the inscriptions that's happening, basically all the NFTs that's written to the block, okay, or written to the sats, it's possible because of ordinals, and there's a ton of NFTs, right? And because of it, there's actually a huge number of, I mean, the volume of this is so high that it's actually pushing Bitcoin's transaction fees above Ethereum's. A lot of it is due to ordinals, but also just for general trading, right? But it's kind of crazy. Kind of crazy that Bitcoin's, the fees, transaction fees are now higher than even Ethereum. Good. I guess it's good and bad, right? Obviously, you want Bitcoin to gain strength. You want as much utility as possible for Bitcoin. But, you know, the transaction fees gets too high, well, that's going to prevent usage, right? Hopefully that's not the case. Now, something else that's been skyrocketing, if you go down, is right here. Stacks, also up 29% today. Also up about 60% for the month, for the week, about 64%. That's Stacks. And they're a little bit higher, 1.5 billion. But Stacks makes it possible for DeFi to exist and NFT marketplaces to exist. Ordinals allow NFTs to be created and BRC20 tokens to be created. But Stacks is kind of like the layer 2 that allows DeFi and marketplaces exist on top of Bitcoin. That's why it's also gaining so much strength. Stacks been around for a long time, for years upon years. Just not a lot of people have been paying attention to Stacks. But now people are. That's why they're so hot, right? So ultimately, that's why Stacks is going up, because there's just a lot of people that are speculating that as Bitcoin gets stronger, you're going to see more and more people try to program on top of it, try to utilize Bitcoin for different things besides just being a store of value, besides just being a medium of exchange, right? But let's make Bitcoin into programmable, like a programmable network, right? Full of marketplaces and DeFi and everything else. That's what WAGMI games, which I am advisor of. These next three, I'm advisor of all three, just FYI, just full disclosure. But I have been mentioning about WAGMI games because I met all these guys at the next crypto gem, right? And Scott and then Ian, they're both killing it. They formed a partnership with Neo Tokyo as well. Look at them right now, 136% gain in this last month, 68% in just the last 7 days. They are killing it right now, building momentum for their launch of their mobile game. They're killing it right now. Another one that I just talked about just on Friday, yesterday I believe, or no, Thursday, is DeFi Kingdoms. And DeFi Kingdoms is starting to pick up some steam too. Last month up about 52%, right? The whole community is very excited. And I know a lot of you guys are excited too, because you guys didn't know that they're actually a game now. They're not just a DeFi project. So they are turning things around. So I'm glad to see that, and glad to see Dreamer get out there, be more vocal. And he's also part of the IFC as well. And the last one is, I got to say, Vulcan. Got to give a shout out to Vulcan Forged, right? Jamie has been doing a lot of amazing things on Vulcan Forged, right? By the way, these are all gaming projects in case you didn't know, right? Vulcan Forge also has a ton of stuff going on. They have a ton of games. I would say they're probably the second biggest gaming platform on the planet right now, and they're up 62% too within the last month. So they're all doing fantastic. And Vulcan also has a fighting league that's coming out too. So I'm trying to see if I can incorporate IFC with that fighting league in some way. That would be pretty cool. Cornucopia, okay, which is up a staggering 51% today. Don't ask me why it's up 51%. No idea. It just is, but it's getting big now, 65 million. A lot of people like this simply because it's on top of Cardano. People in the Cardano ecosystem, they're like, man, we need some excitement. That's why Sneck before did really well, because everything in Cardano seems quite boring. And now you have this metaverse game, this MMORPG game that could be coming out to bring some real excitement into this space. Okay, so that's basically what they are. They are a gigantic gaming platform, but mostly, you know, they're a MMORPG, right? That looks absolutely fantastic. Are they AAA? You could argue, yes. Here's some gameplay that they put out. So, I mean, it looks pretty good. I don't know if it's AAA, maybe AA, somewhere in between. But they're using the Unreal Engine 5, okay? So just so you know, it's a pretty standard engine that a lot of games use. Yeah, it looks pretty good. It looks pretty good, right? So this is what they're developing right now. This been in progress for years. I remember this back even in late 2021. I think late 2021 is when I started hearing about them. But in the meantime, while they're working on it, they're coming out with like smaller games that people can play, right? Kind of like this one right here. That looks pretty cool. You know, like mini games. A lot of these game makers, what they do is basically come out with mini games to get people excited, and you could still earn rewards with them. And then, you know, when the full game comes out, that's when, you know, they lure him in first and push him towards the main game, right? So that's what's going on right now. I don't know when the main game is supposed to come out. It's supposed to be this year. It's not like years, so it should be sometime this year. I just don't know the exact date. But in the meantime, yes, they have an NFT marketplace already. You can buy land, you can buy vehicles, you can buy clothing. They have mini games to keep people, you know, excited about what's happening.